Hi everyone, we wanted to showcase upcoming startups in the mobility sector and today we are kickstarting it. Today is December 3rd and it is an international day for people with disabilities. Today we are heading to Neomotion and they provide assistive mobility solution for people with disabilities. We are going to meet someone really interesting. He is Mr. Siddharth, co-founder and head of sales. He's going to talk us through the journey so far and share stories how Neomotion changed people's lives. I hope you like this video. If you do so, watch it till the end and drop a subscribe, share it with your family and friends. This is Dinesh and you're watching Thunder House.
Hi, my name is Siddharth from Neomotion. We make mobility devices for people who are physically challenged and elderly. We are an IIT Madras incubated startup. So our journey starts, I think, in 2015. We met around 250 odd wheelchair users. That time we were project officers at this lab called TTK Center for Rehabilitation Research and Device Development under the guidance of our Professor Sujata Srinivasan. So when we met these wheelchair users, we found two main problems that we had to solve. The first one is the wheelchair itself. So see, wheelchairs are a part of your body. So unless they are not custom made according to your body measurements, according to your diagnosis, they don't give the right performance, they don't give the right mobility solution to the user. So because see, all of us have different shoe sizes, say one has 9, 8, 15. Now imagine all of us are wearing a 14 size shoe. It becomes very difficult for you to walk or run with that shoe. So that's what we are doing with wheelchairs. We customize every Neofly wheelchair according to the measurement so that it fits you right, you get the right posture, you are able to propel the wheelchair better, you cover 3 to 5 times more distance with the wheelchair, and obviously the wheelchair becomes smaller because it's made according to your measurements. So it makes it very easy to take it in narrow corridors, in public spaces, in public washrooms. So that becomes very easy for a person on a wheelchair. Now secondly, now imagine a wheelchair user who wants to go out, to school, to college, to the office. Right now they need to depend on somebody, a parent or a brother or a friend or a sister to come help them get onto the bike, get them into an auto or a car. Somebody will fold your wheelchair, put it into a car. Now there is a lot of dependency. They need to think, twice or thrice before they even, decide to go somewhere, close by. So what we decided was we want to make wheelchair users independent so that they can go wherever they want, and for that we made the Neo Bolt. The Neo Bolt is a clip-on device. It's an electric clip-on device for the Neofly wheelchair and you can just clip it on yourself. You don't need to depend on somebody to do that. You attach this, you switch on the battery and then you go wherever you want. You go to school, you go to college, you go to office. You can just go to a park, get some fresh air in the morning, basically live life to the fullest independently and in a more accessible and convenient manner. So that's what the Neofly and the Neo Bolt do. It's an indoor and an outdoor mobility device for wheelchair users. See, something very different from from existing products which we would like to which I would like to bring up now. You would have definitely seen scooters and Activas with 2 assistive wheels. Now imagine a wheelchair user who needs to use that. I will bring my wheelchair next to the bike. Now I need to sort of jump to the level of the seat of that bike, which becomes very difficult. Sometimes users get injured during that process, or they need to call somebody, help them get onto the bike, fold the wheelchair, put it on the bike. Because lots of them, they will ride the bike, they will reach a destination. We've heard stories where people with physical disabilities, they have reached a wedding reception on the bike, but then now they cannot go to the stage of the reception. They need to get the couple outside to meet them, because otherwise they have to crawl or they need to call a wheelchair, and sometimes wheelchairs are not available. So this is the difference that the existing product, what the Neo Bolt has with the existing product. It is a wheelchair with a scooter attachment. So you can always detach the Neo Bolt, use it as a wheelchair and then go indoors wherever you want to go. So this is how the Neo Bolt and the Neofly is different from existing two-wheelers that are currently used by wheelchair users. We started deliveries in 2020, and since then, after passing COVID, we have now 2,000 users across India, across 28 states and 6 union territories. Our users are doing variety of things with the added independence that they have got. Some of them are now going to college. We have a few students from Punjab who are now going to college independently. Previously, they had to depend on their parent to, take them on an auto or something like that. So now they are going to college independently. There are ex-army personnel, so army personnel who got injured during service, during the wars with spinal cord injury. They are now using this, they are now going on with their lives. We have one person, Lakshman Sutarji in Sangli, Maharashtra. He now has his own sapling nursery business in Maharashtra, and he goes from home to his farm independently on his own. We have a lot of female users. There is one in Pondicherry, Lakshmi Priya. She has her own shop now, and she goes to the mass market herself independently on the NeoBolt, buys the equipment, brings it to her shop, sells it over there. We have some users who have now started doing Zomato and Swiggy deliveries on this bike. So previously they didn't have any source of livelihood, they were stuck at home. Now they use the NeoBolt, they go to the restaurants, pick up the orders, go to the houses, call the customers downstairs, and then they deliver the food items. That has led to a lot of livelihood opportunities. I think we have crossed around 5,000 deliveries on Zomato till date, and they are doing it from that. We recently had an event in Chennai. It was hosted by TVS Eurogrip. It was a biking event by normal bikers, but we in fact had 7 of our own NeoBolt users who participated in that biking event. It leads to a very inclusive society, because now people with physical disabilities don't need to think themselves as disabled or differently abled. They are now part of mainstream society where they are taking part in biking events. So these are the kind of stories that we've developed. Very importantly, para athletes. So there are wheelchair cricketers, wheelchair table tennis players, para table tennis players, para shooters. They are now using the NeoBolt to go for practice, to go for gymming sessions. Previously they had to depend on, again, autos, somebody. It becomes expensive also to use autos on a daily basis. We all know how expensive autos are, especially in Chennai. But now they use the NeoBolt, they go to gyms, they go to stadiums, and then they do their practices. They try to win medals for the country, but at least now they can even think of doing this on a more day-to-day basis. So the use cases are vibrant. Education, livelihood, sports, and generally, even an elderly person now, they want to go to a temple, they want to go to a pharmacy. Instead of depending on somebody else, they can just clip on the NeoBolt, go and get that done. So these are the kind of use cases that have been possible because of this. I think one more important thing in cities that we have seen, the NeoBolt users are taking this in the metro trains as well. So now if I need to travel 30-40 kilometers within the city, rather than driving this entirely myself, you would see a lot of European countries where cyclists actually cycle, take the cycles inside the metro trains, and then they go wherever they want. So our users are actually doing that. They are taking this in the metro trains, going there to the last stop, and then riding this to their offices. That is one very important use case, last mile use case in the cities. So I think these are some of the user stories that we've created as of today. So currently it's been almost 6 years since we incorporated our startup. So today we have around 53 members in our team. This is across sales, marketing, supply chain, manufacturing, assembly. Also, we are very proud to say that almost 25% of our workforce of our team are actually people with some sort of disability. So we have our own wheelchair users who are in fact our field executives. So these are in 6 cities as of now, where they use the NeoBolt. They go to hospitals, they go to user houses, give test drives, give demonstrations, and at the end it's a very strong message when your own user is using the product and showing it across the city. We have some speech and hearing impaired who are in the assembly unit right now. We've had a great experience working with them. And it's a very nice thing, because we are in the industry of the differently abled, and if our own team is differently abled, then it obviously helps our own motivation as well. our own motivation and inspiration comes from our own users. When we see our users, going somewhere, achieving something which they could not before, and when they send us the photos and videos about it, so we do get a lot of stories from our users. Hey, today I went and I voted for the first time after 5-6 years after my injury. That brings us a motivation. When somebody tells us, sir, today I got my job because of my mobility, that brings us motivation. We have female users who come and get back to us saying that I'm looking at setting up my own my own shop, my own bakery, and because now this will allow me to go to the market, explore things. So this is what expands our own ideas, our own inspiration to take this further. Very importantly, we are a Make in India brand. We are a Make in India startup. Neomotion, almost 80% of our components are manufactured in India itself. We are working towards making those remaining 20% also indigenized, so that even with respect to our own operations, it becomes easy, and at the end it becomes a completely 100% Make in India product. We had an opportunity to show this to the Honorable Prime Minister, and he also said that this is something that India needs to take to the world. We need to take this product to the other parts of the world where they will use an Indian product and they will become independent because of India. So we are also very proud that along with other EV startups, we are also an EV startup that has its R&D and the genesis inside India itself, and from IIT Madras that too. Our IIT Madras helped us in terms of R&D, in terms of facilities, in terms of product development, and now Research Park and Incubation Cell has helped us in terms of market linkages, in terms of showing this to the important stakeholders. So I think we are very proud to be one of those EV startups coming out of from India as well. So yeah, thank you so much.